11-3-1, 5 knockouts. Both fighters known to go chest to chest, chin to chin, and here we go in round one.
I was curious to see who would back who up first, and it was Curtis Parker who backed Tony Braxton up. I really don't think Tony's going to be doing that much backing up this fight.
Parker last seen on Prism with a 7-round knockout win over Henry Walker in Atlantic City on August 18th of 1982. His first fight in '83. He scores with a right hand there that's partially blocked by Braxton. Does not seem to faze Tony Braxton, however.
That victory over Henry Walker last August 18th, a very impressive victory for Curtis Parker, and yet he told me today that during this fight he was scared throughout the entire contest. He said, I was very nervous with us coming off the loss to Hampshire, and I kept thinking, geez, if I lose here tonight, and I had to get rid of those bad feelings, those negative feelings. Tonight, he says, I know I'm going to be as loose as I've ever been. And so far, he does look quite loose.
Braxton's 3 losses and 1 draw. He has not been knocked out. And we referred to a fight against Ernie Singletary, also seen on Prism. An excellent battle, and I would have to agree with you, Randy, that I thought Braxton had the better of that. Did not get the decision. And it really discouraged him. But a win here would really square things out and put him right back in the thick of things in the middleweight division, or junior middleweight division, should he choose to fight at that weight, which is a little bit easier for him.
I really think Tony Braxton is a better fighter at 154 pounds. You look at the real tough loss to Frank Fletcher, February 28th, 1982, over 12 rounds. I really think if the fight had been held like at 154 pounds, there's not too many junior middleweights who can beat him.
Less than a minute now to go in round one. Curtis Parker has been hampered in some fights by his size. 5 foot 8 inches tall. Has had some trouble with bigger people.
And that's what he says he is, about 5'8". I don't think he's really any more than 5'6.5" or so.
What an amateur fighter he was back in '76. Won the Pennsylvania Golden Gloves title, then the National Golden Gloves title. Fought those that year out in Honolulu.
And Jimmy's using that jab just like he told us he would.
Opening round action here in what should be a very lively, good middleweight battle. Be surprised if it doesn't heat up and get real warm.
Bring the back hand up. Bring the back hand up. Hey!
Round one comes to an end. We watch Curtis Parker back to his corner. Now Tony Braxton. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape.
Look at that. Curtis Parker is 24 years old, and it just seems like he's been around forever. 7 years as a pro. Tony Braxton, 31. 5'9" for Braxton. Again, 5'8", so says Parker. Might be about 1.5 inches shorter than that. The weight doesn't make too much of a difference. The reach, slight reach advantage for Tony Braxton. The record, you could throw them out because both guys are hungry here tonight. A win catapults them back into a world title picture.
Wenzel McCall attending to Curtis Parker, and Curtis has really run through some managers in his career. Another one of the difficulties that he's had. Managers and trainers have come and gone in rapid succession. In fact, Curtis, for a good while, preferred to do his own managing, and that presented some real problems, as you heard him talk about earlier tonight. Parker in blue, Tony Braxton in the black trunks, back toward us. And you.
These fighters mixing it up in an 18-foot ring. They really don't need a ring that big. Not these guys.
Braxton getting some encouragement tonight from older brother Dwight, or younger brother Dwight, I'm sorry. Light heavyweight champ, getting ready to unify that title against Michael Spinks here in Atlantic City.
In what promises to be one of 1983's top championship fights. There's that jab again by Curtis Parker. Very rarely in the past has he used the jab, and it looks fine tonight. He is doing what he said he would do.
Little left bouncing off the nose of Parker there in close. Flicking left jab now, beginning with a right hand by Braxton after Parker had scored with a flicking left jab in repeated form there. And we saw the right eye of Braxton blinking a bit from that left jab.
Right. And speaking about eyes, the eyes of Curtis Parker are very prone to cuts around both eyes, especially the right eye. So watch to see if Tony Braxton can land some hooks. He tried it right there to try to open some cuts around the right eye of Curtis Parker.
Braxton now with a couple of right hands to his credit in this round. Parker relying heavily on the jab, which is a new Curtis Parker. But when he throws that jab out, he's been leaving himself vulnerable to the quick overhand right. A minute left here. Round number 2.
I'm surprised at how many boxing experts figured this would end early. Out of the 7 losses that these guys have between them, all have been on decision. But now Tony Braxton got rocked by a right hand, and suddenly he looks on his way down.
He's holding on. You can see him cup the right hand of Curtis Parker. A kind of a walk away. Braxton breaking out of a clinch, got caught with a snappy right hand, and he wants to hold on. So Parker, just as quickly, turned the pace of this fight dramatically with one right hand.
Well, the punch that brother Dwight does not get caught with, an overhand right, did find the chin of Tony, and he is still shaken by the punch.
Round number 2, winding down. Right hand to the body, a good one by Braxton. He's a tough guy. There it is, round number 2. Braxton got hit with some good shots there, but hangs tough, and we'll be back with round 3 right after this.
A mathematician.
Tony Braxton's last 2 fights, Frank Fletcher and Ernie Singletary. Frank Fletcher, just a few feet behind us, fought Braxton 3 times, and Braxton has 1 win in that bout. There's a slip by Braxton. Feet tangled up in the exchange of punches there, and Braxton now seems to have lost a little bit of his mobility. I don't know whether he's still smarting from that good right hand, or he's just going to try and get in close and smother those punches.
Tony is wearing a look of pain. I think when he slipped then, he twisted his right ankle, and when he rose from it, he wore a look of pain on his face.
Braxton right in there where Parker wants you. Parker now going to the buzzsaw style that was his claim to fame and all throughout his career.
This looks to be the Curtis Parker we've seen in the past, the man who won his first 16 consecutive fights, 9 in a row by knockout.
Just keeping the pressure on Tony Braxton here. And so far, Braxton has elected to stay there, although he scores with a nice left-right here. So Braxton countering a little bit and countering effectively.
Listen to the men that...
Good left hand by Braxton, who's getting the better of it right now. A rally by Braxton.
The men that beat Curtis Parker, Dwight Davison, Mustafa Hamsho, Wilfred Scipion, and Mustafa Hamsho again. 4 of the top middleweights in the world.
Glancing left hand after a right connected by Braxton. Parker has always been willing to take 2 to land 1.
Or 3 or 4.
Right. He's taking here some glancing shots, not backing up far enough, and they're landing.
Parker told us earlier that this would be a very nice birthday present for him. Just a few days ago, he celebrated his 24th.
And he's Braxton landing some crisp right hands. He did it again. So far, a nice comeback round by Tony Braxton.